Welcome to the Mercedes Sprinter Passenger van. This is a 12-seat option with the tall roof, and there's a lot to like. You can get a 12-seater, a 15-seater, and this might be a great option if you're going to be hauling a lot of people and a lot of stuff. We're going to take a detailed look. Let's get into it. All right, let's take a quick look at the exterior details of this Sprinter van. So this is on a 3/4 ton chassis. So keep that in mind as far as the capability of this vehicle. It is a big vehicle as well. I do have the cargo van video in the description below if you want to check that out. But we're going to get LED daytime running lights, LED headlights, halogen fog lights. A little surprising, but you know, they're not typically going to go all out on lighting on a vehicle prioritizing the passenger space here. But this blue color, this Amazon blue, it's called Brilliant Blue, and it's actually an optional upgrade, $700 something, but it does look pretty nice on a big giant vehicle like this. And you got some dark rear windows. You really do have some good privacy in the back, and the fact that you have full length windows like that on both sides really helps with visibility. Now, a couple important items. There are two different roof heights. We've got the standard roof, which is 103 inches, or the high roof, which we have here at 114 inches. So you can get a tall roof, which gives you a ton of extra headspace on the inside. But there's also length options, two different length options with wheelbases. You can get the standard version, which is the standard length here, or an extended version for a 15-seat option at 274 inches long. So it's nice you have those options. We also have these kind of slick looking lights on the back right here. We've got the license plate lights, pretty simple on the back, but it's almost like completely flush right here, so you don't have any wasted space increasing the length of the vehicle. It is all about space with this thing. Let's keep moving. Now let's take a look at the cargo area. So you've got this swing door right here. This one can open up, opens up nice and wide. We also have this net right here as well. And then on this side, check this out. This one also opens up. You've got another net right there. So these doors open up to give you excellent access in here all the way up too. And you've got about 3 feet distance to the last row of seats, which is a 4-person row of seats right there. We've got tie downs over here. This is pretty much completely flat, and you have the entire height of the roof to be able to stack items. But if you're carrying 12 people, you could most likely easily stack 12 different suitcases up back here, going across and up, and still not even be up to the level of the seat. Now, I don't have specific specs for this cargo space, but there is there is a lot of room, and the extended version also adds more people. You get a longer wheelbase, and I have the cargo van if you want to see what it's like if this vehicle's completely cleared out. It's a giant hollow cavity, but you can haul lots of people and lots of stuff. Now, Mercedes does not give us a smart key. It is a push button start, but not a smart key, but you can open up that sliding passenger door on that other side, which I will show you in just a sec. So there's no sensor or anything like that. You come in here, and we've got several options on this particular vehicle, but we've got synthetic seats. These are not leather, but they look nice. They feel nice as well. The headrest is in a good spot. These are comfy chairs. You've got ratcheting armrests on both sides as well, and those are comfortable. 4-way lumbar adjustment right here. That's on the passenger side as well, which is great. The bolstering's not too thick, so it's still easy to get in and out of here. And the handle is built into the door. So there's a handle on both sides because it is a step up there. You've got a nice large step here. Then you've got the handle, and then you've got your adjustments right here, and you even have memory settings. We have heated seats right here as well. And then check it out on the steering wheel. We've also got heated steering wheel right here too. It's a manual adjustment for the steering wheel, but it is tilt, height and tilt, and it's a comfortable wheel. It's not like a giant wheel like you get in a big old bus, and this is a pretty easy vehicle to maneuver around in. Heated seats, heated steering wheel, it's a comfortable setup. Now, the parts you've probably been waiting for, the passenger space. So you can open this door up with your key fob or with a button on the inside, and it is automatic. We've got this accessibility package where this step comes out, and it's not too tall off the ground, so makes it nice and easy to get in. This is a 12 passenger setup because we've got 2 up there, 3, and then a 4 seat in the way back. You can get a 15 passenger setup if you get the extended version. And the fact that we've got the tall roof means I believe it's about a 6'4" person can stand up without hitting their head up there. One nice thing about these seats is there's a lot of amenities. We have armrests on the outside of these seats. All of the seats have their own little recline lever. All of the seats also have their own headrest, and you've got the full seat belt. You don't just have a lap belt in the middle. Check it out down here. We even have cup holders that can accommodate pretty large drinks right here too. You've got one for everybody and an extra one running all the way through there. That side does not open up. That is just an emergency piece of glass. So this is how everybody's gonna get in. There is quite a bit of legroom in here. So even sitting behind the front seats with this seat back, there's a lot of legroom. There's not a ton of foot space because of that, but I'll show you what it's like behind these. And getting in here, we've got a grab handle right here as well. Here's the button that can close it, so your passenger can do so. You even have a little hook right overhead. And then, if you're gonna stand right here, you can see everybody pretty well. It's just like being a school bus driver. We've got AC vents all over the place. So we've got AC vents running across here. There's AC vents as we move back, as you'll see in just a little bit as well. And check this out. Pull this lever to recline, and it goes back a decent ways. You can be pretty darn comfortable in here. Let's check out the next row. Same thing, we've got cup holders. And another thing, I'll show you in another row. There's an extra spot right there with a USB port, a spot to put your phone, even back here, same thing over there. So we've got charging ports in different areas back here. And if I sit behind this seat, I still have good knee space, and it's nice and empty underneath. So there's room to put stuff, room for your feet. This is a very, very comfortable setup. So over here, USB-C port, spot to maybe put your phone right there so each row can charge. Definitely a nice setup. Now getting all the way back to the last row is a little bit thin right here, and you've got this wheel well that kind of gets in the way, but it's definitely not bad. Most people will be able to fit, and you've got 4 seats back here. So keep that in mind. We've got more air conditioning vents all the way around, AC vents here, there, and this is part of our high performance air conditioner. So this vehicle, even though it's a giant open cavity, is gonna cool off really well. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and start it up. So we've got push button start right there. And then, as you'd expect, you've got good storage in these doors. You've got one tier right here, another tier at the very bottom right there. Just these 2 window controls, just these 2 front windows go down. You can fold these mirrors, which is nice because you've already got a pretty big vehicle. So it's nice to be able to have the power to fold them. Fog lights and rear fog lights as well. Headlight controls, parking brake. And then the steering wheel is comfortable, and it's got a good amount of motion, and I've been very comfortable in here. You've got a really nice tall ride height, you've got comfy seats, you've got easy access to everything, and this is still a typical Mercedes. However, it feels very simple in here compared to some vehicles of the modern age where they can be distracting. And when you got a bunch of people with you, you don't want distracting. And this is a nice, simple setup. As you can see right here, we don't have a full-on gauge cluster. We can control using the steering wheel what we see. We've got a few different menus. It's a little bit old school from Mercedes, but hey.
How can I help?
And
I'm sorry.
We
Can
have
you say that again?
voice control. So you say her
I'm
name,
sorry, but I can't help you with that right now.
and then she'll respond. The shifter is right there. So it's out of the way, column mounted shifter. We even have these little paddle shifters right here. Then over here, we've got little slot, one little storage area, another little storage area. You can see my wallet fits in there pretty well. We even have some vents right up here, and little circles right there. I don't know if you'd necessarily store much up there, but that's certainly an option. And then we get this large screen over here, and you can even control the screen somewhat with this. It's not the most simplistic. Like, for example, there's not a seek button on here. You pretty much have to be hovering over the seek button wherever you're at. So there's nothing on the steering wheel, or you can tap the screen. We've got some physical controls right here and some shortcuts, including a volume knob, just like that. So it's still a pretty simple setup to use overall. We can go back and get out of the Mercedes screen, hit the home button up there, and then typical Mercedes. You've got a lot of different settings that you can adjust on here. It's the MBUX system. This is an option on this particular model, but we've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and they are wireless as well. You can just shortcut, hit that, and go to some settings in here as well. We've got a lot of driver assist settings, a lot of different options available on this vehicle. Plus, we've got our climate control up here. It's a single zone right here. We also have the rear climate. You can designate rear control right there. Automatic setting, fan speed over there. Again, nice simple layout right here. This is your button to open up the rear door alongside the one in the back and on your key fob. And take a look at these cup holders. Massive, tiny, tiny, massive. So my big mug fits in here. The only thing is, if you have a drink that's like middle size, there's not something to squeeze it or help hold it in place. You just kind of got to hope it fits. The glove box is open and it's right over there. And then down here is just a wide open cavity. There's no console, nothing specific like that, but there's a little bit extra going on down here. We've got a 12-volt power outlet, USB-C port, and a 2-prong 115-volt outlet as well. So it's nice to see that charging port right there. There's more charging ports in the back as well. Up overhead, we've got the digital rearview mirror. This is great because you can see perfectly out the back, but honestly, visibility is not bad at all because you've got huge windows and they go down quite a bit. So I haven't had any problem looking around seeing vehicles. We've got large visors, overhead storage, just like a bus. So it's good to see. We've got reading lights. You can even turn off whether the lights come on. We can turn them on completely. And it does get nice and bright in here, just like in a bus. So passengers can find everything they need and see pretty well. Now, one option that we have is the 360 camera, top-down view. You can even bring it closer so you can see next to a specific wheel. Parking sensors. It's a nice setup and very nice to have on a large vehicle like this. All right, y'all, we are now behind the wheel of this Sprinter van. And I've got to say, it's comfortable to drive. And if you're intimidated by how large this vehicle is and worried about parking it, it's a little bit scary in a parking lot, but driving through town for the most part and navigating most areas, it's not bad at all. You've got good visibility in these mirrors. You've got the 2 set mirrors. So you've got the smaller, like blind spots area where you can see your wheel too. You can angle that, and then the bigger mirror to be able to see next to you pretty well. And funny story, I just drove by a school and the crossing guard started waving at me, probably thinking I had a van full of kids. I guess that comes with the territory with this vehicle. Anyways, there are 2 different powertrain options, both 4-cylinder diesels. They're 4-cylinder turbo diesels, and you've got a high output with just under a standard output, just under 300 pound-feet of torque, and a high output, which I believe is what we have, with about 332 pound-feet of torque. Both come with a 9-speed automatic transmission, and this has been pretty smooth. I mean, it really does give you like bus vibes, the way it feels and sounds and kind of rattles around, but it's a giant hollow cavity. But the powertrains seem okay. Certainly could have a little more, but the torque that you get out of these is probably peppy enough and efficient enough, and we'll get on it in a little bit. They also come in either rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. This one is rear-wheel drive, but that's an option. You can get standard or high output, rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. And you can tow up to 5,000 pounds with the 12-seat options. Now, when you drive a large vehicle like this, huge windshield, it's like a giant box moving through the air, you're not going to expect it to be super quiet, but this still is a fairly quiet vehicle, all things considered, with wind noise and road noise for the type of vehicle that it is. I also got to say, the brakes on here feel nice and confidence inspiring. I don't feel like, dang, this thing's not going to slow down. Never really have that. And then, if we just put the pedal down, it'll get out of its own way. It's not going to blow you away. But the torque that these have comes out pretty quick. There are some times where it is quite delayed, whether or not it's the turbo lag or it's the transmission waiting to shift down. But there's times, especially coming from low speed, where I want to accelerate and it just does not move as soon as I want. But you don't have to put the pedal down to really get this thing moving. That was just partial pedal, and then the transmission's quick to respond. The other thing is the steering on here. It's very light and comfortable. You've got a large vehicle and you'd think you'd have to put some effort into steering it, but you really don't. And it's a lot more nimble than people think. Like, if you're gonna pull over here and do a U-turn, I would feel comfortable that I could do a U-turn. I've done a couple tight turns in this, and it honestly hasn't been bad. You know, the wheelbase isn't insanely long in this standard version. If you get the extended version, then you've got a pretty long vehicle. But overall, parking, driving, maneuvering, it's not bad. And the ride comfort's probably about how you'd expect. It is comfortable, but you do get some of the bumps and rattles, and you can really feel large bumps. You know, you've got a big distance between your wheels and a hollow cavity, so you're going to feel it. It's not going to be quite as plush as a smaller vehicle, just based off of the design here. But I think for a vehicle of this size, everything is pretty comfortable, well laid out. It's easy to drive. You have good visibility out of a big vehicle like this. I love having these huge windows too, because you can see all around the vehicle quite well. But hope y'all enjoyed the video, and let me know what you think of this Mercedes Sprinter van. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. So to wrap things up on this Mercedes Sprinter, it's nice that they give you a lot of different options. You can get a shorter version, shorter roof, extended length, taller roof. You can get 12 passenger, 15 passenger, and those passengers are riding in comfort. Those are all comfortable seats. The front seats are comfortable. It's easy to drive. We've got two different powertrain options, a high output or a regular output, and they seem to get along good enough. I haven't hauled a bunch of people around to really know, but it's got good torque, drives nice, and it's easy to navigate and maneuver this thing, more so than what you'd think for a big old vehicle like this. So if you're hauling a lot of people and a lot of stuff and you want to haul in luxury, this might be a good option.